Loose. Hoops and dreams. Stop the hate. Hey yo, turn me up. This one is a banger. They say fake moves, we don't fake stats. We don't do talking, we just run laps. We don't need shortcuts, we don't need luck. It's all sweat, all heart, all trust. So keep your fake love, we don't need your dap. We stay solid, we ain't falling for that. If you really bout it, then go build your name. Stop watching ours, go create your lane. Stop hating, more celebrating. Enough flames for y'all to stop imitating. Get in the lab, work on your shot. Stop trying to be something you not. Ain't no shortcuts, ain't no cheat codes. Only hard work, that's just how it goes. So if you ain't grinding, you ain't in our lane. Hoops and dreams, remember the name.
Let's get it cracking, man.
All right. First off, I want to welcome everybody to the Hoops and Dreams podcast. I'm Coach Dennis. This is
Be nasty, man.
we're just pretty much here to bring in young talent, talk about basketball, talk about life, talk about what it is to do beyond basketball, and you know what kids want to be inspired to be if basketball wasn't a thing. What kind of job would you want to do? What kind of work would you want to work with, or who you want to work with? I mean, as for you being a videographer, you know, what kind of work would you like to do outside of just taking pictures?
Oh, man. I mean, what I like to do, man, I like to be the president of the United States, you know. That's what we inspire everyone, you know, to be, right? The best that you can be. But honestly, bro, I had all types of dreams, you know. I had, not hoop dreams, you know, I played football. So those are the type of dreams I had, you know, playing in the NFL. But, you know, I kind of, you know, steered my way into videography because, you know, I fell in love with being behind the camera, kind of being behind, you know, in the music industry and all that stuff, not being in front of the camera, not being on the mic, but finding a way to be, you know, like a businessman and, you know, try to, you know, stretch my wings a little bit, but, you know, videography, you know, I probably wouldn't do anything else than videography, you know. Once I take it to the next level, I don't see, you know, why I would stop.
That's how I feel about coaching. Just,
Yeah.
I'm done. I don't want to play basketball. You know, I just want to teach the youth of, you know, how to play, what to do, the right things to get them to succeed for their dreams and, you know, in life. Maybe they want to go to the NBA. Maybe they don't want to go to college, you know, and play basketball. But whatever it is, I want to feel like I had an impact on their life to get them to where they had to go, no matter if it's on or off the court.
That's a bit. What, when you start playing basketball?
I started playing basketball late. I was about 14. And so I was in high school, went to McNair High School.
In-house? Oh,
We didn't get to, we was sophomores, and there was no 11th graders or 12th graders, so we literally had to play varsity at sophomores, you know, and I didn't really, it was fun, you know, meeting new people and everything, playing with my friends, but I didn't really get to enjoy high school basketball because we played up 2 levels, so we took a lot of losses because we weren't ready for varsity.
yeah, it was bad, man. I remember seeing those newspaper articles, you know. It wasn't easy for us either because I was a year right after that,
Yeah.
you know, just freshmen with sophomores and juniors.
Yeah.
We ain't even had no seniors my freshman year, so I understand, man. Our varsity used to get the rough end of the stick. Sad to say, man, but we turned it around. Basketball and football, we made it happen. Left a little legacy.
Yeah, we won a couple games, couple important games. We got 4 wins versus Stag. That was it. But I mean, every game that we won, you know, we still learn from it. Even our losses, we still learn from it, which is what I try to, you know, instill into these kids now. You know, it's you take losses, but at the end of the day, it's lessons, and you got to learn from them.
Nah, definitely, man. So, like, what's your goal from coaching other than, you know, trying to get them to the NBA? I know you was talking about a little bit about, you know, kind of getting ready for the workforce and all that stuff. Like, what made you, what got you in that mindset?
Having kids of my own and, spending time with them telling me the things that they want to do in life. And, I was like, well, the same thing I deal with the kids who are not mine. I treat them like they're mine because, like a lot of people say, it takes a village to raise a kid. So, if they're not doing something at home and it's something maybe that I can tell them that, they want to hear from me. And a lot of people don't like to hear from their parents. They hear from a coach or something. It's like, okay, well, my mom or my dad did say that. Maybe, coach is right. Maybe my mom or my dad is right. But, they just need that guidance from somebody else. So to answer your question, it's just about helping the youth, making sure that I'm involved in their lives to do anything positive aside from, I don't want them on the streets, dealing with drugs, guns, the violence, especially in the city of Stockton.
That's crazy because you kind of just reared into my next question. Like, how do you keep them focused?
It's just about practice.
He is in, Stockton, and it's very popular to, steer the wrong way.
It is.
So we see some of the best athletes, in this region, turn to violence and drugs and everything. So, what do you got, to keep this generation focused?
Basically just, the talking to them, letting them know that I'm here as a coach, I'm here as a friend. When we on the court, we focused on basketball though, but off the court, they got problems at home that maybe they can't talk to their parents about, don't have money to go to therapy or something. Hey, call me. I'm up. You got a problem? Reach out to me. We can discuss it. We can, talk about what's going on, and hopefully it's something that veers them away from doing the negative things. We try to practice. I try to keep them at the park. Some of them I even play the game with. Like, hey, you want to play the game tonight? Let's play the game. We get on the game and we play, and they like that. Not a lot of coaches can just say, hey, I played the game last night, or not a lot of kids can say, hey, I played the game last night with my coach, or
yeah, they've been talking smack about you like you ain't that. You ain't that either, so you're gonna have to step it up.
I know I'm gonna have to. I'm getting old now, so.
And don't forget, you got them acting. Some of them acting.
Yeah, that's true. I do. That's gonna be a great show coming out in the future. It's called Ball is Life.
Yes, sir.
It's a great show we got with a lot of the kids from the team. Once again, showing them something different aside from basketball. It's more to life than just basketball. And it should be a great turnout. Make sure y'all tune in, check it out.
Yeah, most definitely, man. So what was like your first opportunity to, coach? Like, when did it happen? How old were you?
Ooh.
Where were you at? Was it even basketball? It could have been water polo or something.
It was actually basketball. Okay. I was in Vacaville, and a couple of my friends who were, taking basketball serious was like, hey, we're in this adult league. We want to play in it, but we can't join it unless we got a coach. And I'm like, well, I'm not playing, so I'll be the coach. So that's what I did. I ended up being the coach. I liked it. It was fun. After that, I never really thought nothing of it until I moved to Stockton, and I was actually doing City League, volunteering. A lot of days, a lot of hours. I put in a lot of volunteer hours. But I do it for the love of, the kids and basketball because it was fun. So I went to City League, volunteered there for a couple years. I think about 4 years in the City League. Then I ran into a guy named Coach T. He brought me onto his program called Peaceful Warriors. I started helping him. I was with him for 5 years. And after a while, a lot of people was just in my ear like, hey, you've been doing this a while. Start your own team, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that yet. I'm not ready for that. So I waited about another year. And then I sat and I thought about it. And I was like, maybe it's time. So that's why I started my own program, which is called Hoops and Dreams. And, we went through our ups and downs, and right now is one of our ups. We doing good right now. We striving, and we fought through a lot of adversities and everything, but it's part of life. It's basketball, life.
That's dope, man. That's dope. That's what's up, man. Like, honestly, as a youngin', never even thought about coaching. I'm like, bro, I'm about to ball. We're gonna get to the league, get this money, you know. Coaching ain't even was a thought, bro. Like, and honestly, now we a little older. You a little older than me.
Yeah.
but it's actually like I don't even know the word to say, but like exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, seeing people that I went to school with, you know, going back to our alumni, helping out. Like it's dope, you know, seeing people from other schools go head to head, you know, that we all went to school with, you know, we all peers. And, you know, just seeing that little element. So it makes it way more exciting, man. So that's actually dope, you know, that you know, thought about getting into coaching or whatnot. You got any, like, let's see, some role model or somebody you look up to, like a Popovich or, you know.
Honestly, I mean, and it's not to be biased, but I'm going to go with Eric Spoelstra, the head coach of Miami Heat, even though I'm a Heat fan, but I only choose him.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's damn how we connected too. We only
exactly.
two Heat fans.
Exactly. So
That's
I choose
shocking.
him because, number one, he wasn't a
Before
basketball
the way,
player.
my bad. I'm sorry I had to break it. Before the way, before LeBron.
Of course, definitely.
Before LeBron,
Definitely.
man.
Before,
Right.
way before LeBron.
Just had to throw that out there, bro. Look, if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
But
Right.
I like Eric Spoelstra because he wasn't like a basketball player. He was a videographer.
Video
He
man,
did
the cameraman.
He was the cameraman, and he was
Get your
behind the
tapes
scenes,
ready.
right? He's behind the scenes. He saw everything, and that's how I am. Like, I wasn't the man, I wasn't the guy, but I saw a lot. And he became the coach for the Heat. You know, Pat Riley chose a great person to be the coach, and he took the team to many championships. You know, before LeBron James came, we did win rings, and after he came, we won rings. You know, and we've been on
Now
the up
4,
and
now
up.
5, now 6.
Right.
You know.
You know, we did our thing.
Right,
So,
we fuck with Brian, though.
right, of course. LeBron is definitely one of the guys. He's not the GOAT.
He's one of the greatest, man.
One of the greatest for this generation. Because, you know, I'm still Jordan is always going to be my guy.
2, 3.
Yep.
But he up there, though, man.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. Just took him a little longer.
Where
But
Curry at?
Curry.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
You know,
I like Curry. I like
You
Curry.
know what I mean? Shit.
I do. I like
I
Curry.
mean, he changed the game, you ask me.
He did. He definitely
He
changed the
kind
game.
of pissed me off a little bit, but he changed the game. You know?
Curry definitely changed the game. I mean, even with, you know, just not even in the NBA, just with kids, because, I mean, you got centers and, you know, big men out here shooting threes. Like, there's no
Shooting
more
half
inside
court.
game. Right. So,
And serious.
Right.
Not no buzzer beater. They
right. They pulling up.
get out the way, and we pulling up at half court, get the board, and throw it back. I can't even play 2K and take these kids serious, bro. They just, yeah, man, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's see. A question for you, though. You know, how do you make your videos stand out being a videographer? Like, what makes you different than anybody else?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just my own person. I see what other people doing, and I try to do exactly the opposite. You know, try to make it so like I'm not copying anybody, but maybe they want to copy something I just did. Like, damn, I ain't never seen that before. You know what I mean? So trying to be like an innovator in the game and is what I kind of shoot to do, and what's kind of helped me out in my business. You know, just trying to innovate, do what other people aren't doing. So that's what I would say. What makes my video stand up?
Okay, and then if you had to share a memorable project that you've worked on, what's one that just like stands out? Like that was the one. I know it's gonna be the one before I even edit it or do whatever you got to do.
Oh man, that's a good question, bro. I did some projects that like surprised me, and then I had some projects that I was like, yeah, this is about to blow. Like before I even put it in the computer, like while we at the video shoot. So I'm gonna have to give a shout out to. I'm gonna have to give a shout out to my boy My boy Los, man, he turned me up during COVID, you know, RIP. That was one of the best videos I want to say like we did at the time, and it caught everybody's attention. You know, everybody wanted like a nasty video, so that turned me up, and I knew after the video shoot, you know, everything just worked perfectly. You know, it was just so much love. Everybody was just in good spirits, you know. And bro, they did their thing, I did my thing, and we made a masterpiece. And you know, we started a whole little movement for that little summer, and it was dope. See that, and you know, and then the project that we working on right now, you know, the first little mini series that we got going. Honestly, like I know that's gonna be something to look out for. So y'all definitely stay tuned, cause that's gonna be super dope for the city. And just for the sports world, you know, just something a little different.
All right, something positive.
Something positive too, you know. Real life stuff in there too, though. Don't forget, you know.
Definitely.
But definitely positive. We trying to uplift.
I feel you. Trying to think, what's your favorite like type of project to film? You know, is it like, I know for our show, it's like one of the first, but I mean, is it something like you would choose more over doing music videos, doing, you know, maybe a wedding or just regular photo shoots?
I'll be honest, weddings, super, super fun. I just did like 3 weddings last year, and it was like weekend events, you know, super fun. Usually they're like out the element, but they're a lot of work, you know, so I wouldn't say my favorite project, right? And a lot of work. There's a lot of expectations. You don't want to let nobody down. There's some real serious things with a marriage, right? With a wedding, my bad. But I mean, I can't run away from the basics, bro. Music videos is always gonna be probably like the funnest thing to do. You know, so much ways to do it, and now I'm getting into, you know, like film, trying to make these music videos look more like movies. You know, so
Right.
that's the next level. You know. I'm gonna cool off the effects, and you know, like I said, I'm not trying to be like nobody else. I'm tired of seeing all these effects. Just get back to some, you know,
Basics.
classic, not basic, but classic. You know what I mean? Let's see your cinematography. Let's see like what you can actually shoot. It's cool, yeah, you got shots. Throw some edits in there, some effects, yeah. Let's see. Let's put that lens to work. And let's see what you can actually create. So that's how I feel. Like that's my challenge to the videographers out there. Let's make some movies. Let's challenge each other. You know, tired of seeing the same stuff. We kind of been stuck in the same little in the last few years. So you know, just kind of change it up.
Okay. So I mean, other than that, I mean, what's life like? A daily. What's the life of Brandon, of Be Nasty? You know.
A father, you know, father first. You know, I still have other jobs that I do other than videography, man. So just to stay busy, you know. It's never nothing wrong with staying busy, trying to, you know, get more out of life, right? So definitely don't just to settle for this one thing. Definitely do other things, you know. If you don't want to work, you could be an entrepreneur. You can start you a business, you know. It's a bunch of things you can do, you know. Work out. That's another thing I put back in my repertoire. Start working out again, man. Start feeling a lot better, you know. But yeah, just, you know, work. Edits like right after this, you know, working on a project. Shout out to my boy Muggsy. They actually, oh, you ain't from Vallejo, you from Oakland, right?
Yeah.
My bad. Bay's so big, man. It's just like a cluster, bro. So, but I don't know if you know the Click and all them.
Heard of it? Yeah, of course.
So you know some of the fam.
Okay.
So we working with some of them right now, and got a project and another project I'm ready for working on next week. It's gonna be super fun too. So just, you know, just just keeping the hustle going, man. The hustle don't stop, you know. Take care of the kids so I could take care of my stuff. So, you know, we could just move on, get this money, and, you know, get this education, you know, just take care of everything. So that's really what I got going on, bro. What about you? Like, how your day go, bro? I know you got a lot of stuff going on, too.
A lot. I mean, it's a regular day. It's not even regular no more. Just dealing with, you know, girl, dealing with the kids, dealing with basketball kids who damn near feel like my kids. I mean, you know, practice. I'm trying to work out, and that involves me playing basketball. And sometimes, you know, like I said, I'm not big on it, like just me going out there to play, but it's also helping me stay, you know, energetic, and, you know, I meet a lot of people. I learn new things that I can take to practice, and I mean, it's just a lot, you know, dealing with kids and kids and kids and kids, and then when the night comes,
and parents.
Let's not even talk about the parents.
Yeah, I'm cool. I just want to deal with just this.
Man, the parents are just. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about the parents, but
we love the parents though, man.
Yeah. The parents. I mean, you know, sometimes the parents is what keep it going, you know, but it's the ones that don't. But other than
we'll
that,
roll off that stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's touchy, you know.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, basketball, I love it. You know, I love coaching the kids. It's a lot. And I mean, I talk to my girl a lot, and she tells me like, you know, you spend a lot of time at the gym with these kids, and I'm like, that's life. Like sometimes that's why they say ball is life, you know. But I also teach life lessons. I try to teach life lessons aside from basketball, and I think that's why a lot of the kids like to deal with me. A lot of parents like to deal with me because, you know, it's always about being a student athlete first. That's why student is first, because, you know, school comes first. You can be the best in the world, but if you failing, you know, you're nobody.
Yeah. You're
just Stockton's greatest. And you don't want to just be Stockton greatest. You want to be, you know, the world's greatest, or, you know, the one who got out of Stockton because he was great. Because we've had some great players from Stockton who's made it to NFL, NBA. You know, just a couple of names: Tremaine Johnson, Julius Thomas, Doug Martin. And I'm sure I'm missing some people, so don't be offended. Those are just the ones that came to mind.
You can't forget Cooks, man.
Oh yeah, of course, Brandon Cooks.
Probably had one of the best NFL careers out of Stockton.
I would say, yeah. LaVelle Hawkins, you know, he had.
Shout out to LaVelle, definitely.
He definitely had some good ones. You know who I didn't know? And I found out when I went to the school for a game? Gabe Vincent.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that. Being a Heat fan,
that's crazy.
I did not know that.
I definitely
Gabe
knew
Vincent.
that. My boy told me at work while we was watching the game, he was like, you know, he's from Stockton. I had to do my research. And I was like, that's dope.
Look, I seen this picture up there. I said, why is Gabe Vincent on the wall? He went here. I said, really? I was like, okay. I started liking Gabe Vincent even more, but then he got traded the next year to the Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty, like I said, there's probably other names that I'm forgetting.
It's a lot of names we forgetting, and we apologize.
Right.
You know.
But sports, I mean, it's the positivity of Stockton, and that's what I'm trying to get back to. I'm trying to open up my own gym. Just something for the kids, you know, to do after school, because our community centers are just not the same as they were back before COVID. You know, before you can just go in and be in there till 7 o'clock playing basketball if you wanted to. And, you know, now you got to join a team program. And if Tuesday they want to do some coloring, you know, the kids got to go color instead of going to play basketball. They got to wait till Wednesday or Thursday to go play basketball. And I just feel like I want to get back to, like you said earlier, the classics, you know, the old things we used to do. Be able to leave school and say, hey, I'm going to this gym. And I want kids to be able to say, you know, after I get out of school, where you going? Oh, I'm going to Hoops and Dreams gym. Or, you know, something similar to that, you know, effect. I'm going over there to play basketball. And that's where they can come, do homework, you know, have fun, enjoy their friends, not have to worry about going to pick up a gun. You know, I want them to pick up a basketball. Come and pick up a pen, you know, come talk, come enjoy, you know, enjoy life, have fun.
Well, that's what we're gonna make happen. That's what we're here to do.
That's exactly what we're here to
That's
do.
the mission, right? So we're gonna bring the basics, the classics, old school feel, just, you know.
Bring a lot of younger players, you know, some teenagers, some adults who either might be in a league now or didn't make it or however, but we're going to try to hit all aspects of ages and not just the youth. We're going to try and get the older guys to maybe who can shed some light on the youth to, you know, teach them something that they don't know, something different to help them and maybe, you know, tell them that, hey, you can do this, don't do this because this is what got me to this. So, you know, just some inspiration. And like I said, shed some light on different types of life from different views, different aspects.
Yeah. Let them know it's other things than just playing basketball. Got coaching, training, all types of stuff you think about, man. You gotta get ready for it because life is gonna be thrown at you. So, you know, always want to be prepared. All right, man. So sounds like, man, we're gonna have a fun little journey with this, you know.
Definitely.
So we out. We're gonna holler at you next time. We're gonna have some guests, and we're gonna see you then, man.